Hello, true believers. Hi, Dephinition here, and this is a breakdown of the Valkyrie Jane Foster outfit for the Marvel's Avengers game. An outfit smack dab at the end of Jane's challenge card, and one that marks the first time character weapons have been changed for skin. Since I find this outfit so fascinating, today I won't be just sharing the comic book origins of where this outfit came from and other characters that took the Valkyrie title, but I'll also be explaining why this version of Jane Foster is the strongest representation of the character, in my opinion, and why I likely won't be changing the outfit anytime soon once I unlock it. In the meantime, I guess I'll be rocking the gold variant instead. I'll also be dropping in another fun fact of why we may actually see this version of Jane in the new Thor Love and Thunder film. So, seeing that there will be a lot of information, go ahead and get a snack ready and get comfortable. Before I get to overanalyzing this outfit more than anyone else on the internet though, don't forget to show your appreciation by hammering down that like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring the bell for more analysis videos of your favorite superhero games, plus more. With that, let's start with the comic book origins for this Valkyrie Jane Foster outfit. More so, who wore the outfit before, and the origins of the Valkyrie title itself. Special shout out to Charlotte Fierro for documenting Jane Foster's whole comic book path to Valkyrie on comicbookherald.com. I also highly recommend giving this article a read on your own time as well, since I won't be going over all the details they share in this article. Anyway, the writer Charlotte Fierro mentions that the idea of having a Valkyrie in the Marvel Universe was introduced in a pretty interesting issue of the Avengers from the 70s. Avengers issue number 83 to be exact. In it, the Valkyrie character at the time led some of Marvel's most popular superpowered females against male members of the Avengers. Yeah, Valkyrie, you teach those chauvinist pigs a lesson. But what's this? It ended up being the Enchantress in disguise all along. Fast forward to 2011's Secret Wars Volume 1, issue number 14, we get treated to what looks like a flashback of Odin, realizing the need to give man a paradise. He chooses an Asgardian warrior named Brunhild as his Valkyrie, tasking her to take the souls of warriors perished in battle and bring them to Valhalla, a place where the dead is honored in Asgard. The idea here being that she holds this title for centuries, that being a whole other video's worth of story that I won't get into right now. Anyway, Brunhild would in the future encounter Amora the Enchantress, who offered her a life of adventure. For the weeks following, Brunhild would accompany the Enchantress on her conquest. It wouldn't be until after Brunhild discovered Amora's true motives towards gaining immortality that Enchantress would trap Brunhild in a crystal of souls. Her body would then remain in suspended animation. Essentially, the immortal soul that she had would then become a plaything for the Enchantress. Over apparently more centuries, the Enchantress ended up using Brunhild's spiritual essence to give the Valkyries powers to herself or to her pawns, even also using her magic to alter the recipient's appearance to resemble Brunhild herself. Pretty much Valkyrie-powered illusions here, folks. This supposedly may be the appearance that she took during the situation in Avengers issue number 93 that I also mentioned earlier. This would for sure be an appearance, though, in 1971's Incredible Hulk, Volume 1, issue number 142, where a woman named Samantha Parrington would be given Brunhild's appearance and Valkyrie powers through the Enchantress magic. Luckily, the spell ends up being reversed and we get a happy ending there. It wouldn't be until 1972's Defenders Volume 1, issue number 4 that we got a continuation of this plotline, with a woman named Barbara Norris being driven mad while trapped in another mystical dimension. Barbara would be given the Valkyrie's power and consciousness by the Enchantress in order to help her and the allies she was with at the time. A sorceress named Cassiolina just being one of them. The Defenders would end up rescuing Barbara, but the Enchantress did not undo her spell even after Cassiolina's defeat. As a result, Barbara's body possessed Brunhild's consciousness, appearance, and powers, while Barbara's own mental essence was trapped in Brunhild's real body in Asgard. Yeah, I know. Comics are pretty crazy, right? Back to our good folks at thecomicbookherald.com, they say that this Barbara/Brunhild Valkyrie became the main Valkyrie of the Marvel Universe for the next decades. Following her introduction, she stayed a member of the Defenders until their cancellation in 1986. Her arc does have some positive highlights though during time in the Defenders, such as being reunited with her original body and learning how she was banished to Earth in the Defenders issues numbers 107, 108, and 109. Besides Brunhild, comicbookherald.com shares that the most notable Valkyrie of the Marvel Universe is without a doubt Dani Moonstar. For those that don't know, she was the Native American mutant from the New Mutants film that came out in 2020. A decent watch that I also recommend to X-Men fans. Anyways, the character would become a member of the Valkyrie during the X-Men/New Mutant storyline Asgardian Wars. There, the New Mutants would go on an adventure through the 9 realms, with Dani coming back from the storyline with a flying horse named Brightwind, as well as an ability to see when a person might be able to die. This will also be an ability that Jane Foster gains when becoming a Valkyrie. Alternatively, in an alternate universe, a different version of Valkyrie was introduced in, hopefully I'm saying this right, Saladin Ahmed's Exiles in 2018. This Valkyrie in particular went on a number of dimension-hopping adventures and was inspired by Tessa Thompson's portrayal of the character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Back in the actual Marvel Comics reality though, Jane Foster, as we all know, ends up becoming the new Valkyrie in Jason Aaron's War of the Realms Omega comic run, which I believe also has nods of the story being made in the new Thor movie coming out. I'll get back to this later. Anyway, Jane ends up being asked to fulfill the Valkyrie role by a dead Brunhild, with her first action to bring dead Valkyrie souls to Valhalla. Similar words from Odin to Brunhild during 2011's Secret Wars, Volume 1, Issue number 14, like I mentioned earlier. Valkyrie Jane Foster is known during the story to use the All Weapon, a bracelet made from the remains of the Ultimate Mjolnir that can turn into any weapon. Pretty much the same weapon that we see in, our Jane Foster Valkyrie skin. Jane will also start working in a hospital morgue and make short appearances in Thor's own comic issues as the new Valkyrie, before getting her own series co-written by, again, Jason Aaron and also Al Ewing. This was apparently a pretty popular comic run for Jane Foster fans, that we would even see the effects of that story being acknowledged in 2002's Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor issue number 1. This brings me to my final and main point of this video. Why is Jane Foster as Valkyrie so significant than any other appearances as Jane Foster as Thor, in my opinion, even over other representations of the character Valkyrie? Again, in my opinion. I have 2 answers to this question pretty much. My first being in this year's Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor comic run. Here we experience a post-Valkyrie Jane from the Jason Aaron run, a character that once became the god of thunder and eventually gave that power away before becoming a Valkyrie. We also not only get an actual look at how her life-sensing powers works in issue number 1, but we also see Mjolnir literally coming to her, with Jane then refusing to use the hammer's power. All this because she doesn't want to lose herself with godly power again. This Mjolnir also has the soul of Odin as well, which is a long story itself, and he asks Jane if she's scared of this power, to which she makes possibly the fiercest statement to a god, saying, quote, "I will use the power when I need it, but do not underestimate the things I am without this." Oh, such a powerful quote itself, wouldn't you agree? My second answer to why is Valkyrie Jane such a big deal circles back to my conversation about the new Thor Love and Thunder film. As I mentioned before in this video, the film makes nods to Marvel's 2019 War of the Realms event, with Gore the God Butcher and MCU Jane's new shattered Mjolnir being the center of attention. There's been plenty of speculation that MCU Jane may be getting an upgrade similar to how Comics Jane ends up with the all-weapon Underjarn. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Let me know down below. Anyways, such as how the shattered pieces of the hammer created the weapon in the comics, the same Mjolnir hammer that we've seen in the MCU the whole time may have been the all weapon all along. It may not be in Love and Thunder and maybe a future MCU title, but just take a look at any of the multiple websites riding the same speculation train and figure out your own conclusion from there. We won't know until the film drops on July 8th though, as the time of me making this video. My conclusion for this video though is that Valkyrie Jane Foster is the most enlightened version of the character, literally dying and coming back as a Valkyrie and getting one badass signature weapon of her own, even eventually telling the Allfather himself to suck it. And with that, Valkyrie Jane Foster will forever be the best version of Jane in my book. This question's for you though. What's your favorite version of Jane Foster or Valkyrie? Do you like the brainwashed Enchantress versions or our brown-skinned baddies? I'd like to know down below. You can follow me on Twitter at TheTrueHD for superhero-related tweets around the clock. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to this channel, and ring the bell for more Marvel's Avengers analysis videos, plus much more Marvel content besides all that. As always, thanks for watching if you have, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.